is the best quarterback in the NFC. Is that right or wrong?
I know y'all not going to like it, but it's right. You can get mad at me all you want. I know it's just 1 year, prisoner of moment, nonsense. The man is the best quarterback in NFC. What he accomplished this season is more impressive than what any other quarterback in NFC has accomplished, and none of it is fluky. It's all just basic reading of the defense and delivering accurate deep balls.
Who's going to be mad about that?
I just assume that people will be mad because it's only 1 year.
I think it's an obvious statement of fact.
We're all together on this?
I would argue Stafford is in that conversation.
But you're going over history. You're not going based on this season alone.
Yeah, he was best this season.
Yeah. Daniel's played the best this season for sure.
Wow. Right up to the very end. It wasn't his fault what happened on Sunday. Kmart.
Yeah.
If I said
people, bro.
If I said that, I mean, I didn't fumble the ball all those times. Kmart, if I said the Eagles defense was more important than Saquon in the Super Bowl, is that right or wrong?
I'm going to say right.
Yep.
You know why? Because they're playing Patrick Mahomes. The dude is 17-3 in the playoffs. 50 total touchdowns to 8 interceptions. This game really hinges upon whether the Eagles defense can keep the Chiefs at bay, and few teams have been able to do that.
It's right because they don't. I'm sorry.
With Andy Reid, Spags, Kelsey, like as this thing is constructed, the Bills are going to continue to get better. This was supposed to be a quote down year.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be back.
That's what makes this a complicated topic because these guys, none of them is 30, right? Like Mahomes is the oldest of this group of legendary quarterbacks we have in the AFC, and he's not even 30. So we have another decade ahead of us. One would assume that certainly I think one can safely say Allen, Jackson, and Burrow will all get more cracks at him.
For sure.
Eventually, you have to assume somebody beats him. But let's go back quickly to Sunday because, Hawk, you've been looking at tape. Yeah. And you have thoughts on the play that, for all intents and purposes, ended the Bills' season.
Yeah, there's been a lot of conversation around the fourth down call. Spags sends an incredible blitz that clearly the Buffalo Bills were not prepared for. And there's conversation around should he have slid the protection? Should he have hit this guy versus that guy? And I think for me, and they just line up and run it, and he doesn't assume that there is something coming in that moment. And when you're thinking about the best quarterbacks that we've seen over this generation, from the Peytons to the Tom Bradys to the Drew Breeses, even Matt Stafford, who is a seasoned, experienced quarterback, you just have to understand and know, okay, there's something coming here. How am I going to be prepared for it? He clearly wasn't, and there's a lot of development to come.
We're picking nits at this point about a great quarterback, but I think I get your point in that I expected Spags to do something, and you hear them talk about this play. They're like, Spags set this up the whole game. They showed us this. They never blitzed from it, so we assumed that they weren't going to blitz from it. What I've been watching from Spagnuolo this whole season and last season is that he always holds one blitz.
Absolutely.
He holds one.
Yes.
And you watch it the game before, he holds one. And so he holds it until that moment when he has to bring it, and they have to know.
With my wife, my son, and his girl about Josh Allen, but Brady, Cromer, McDermott, everybody on that sideline. It's a 2-minute warning. You're coming out of a timeout, you're at the 50-yard line, and it's 4th and 5. All thing is coming your way, and you have to be expecting it. That it was a shock or a surprise. If you'd have just said, hey, look, I blew this slide, but you have 4 guys covering 4 guys. You have to, one of the mug backers is going to have to come out to bail to be in coverage. On the other side, you got a condensed split, and you have a safety sitting over the top. Yeah. You know it's coming from that side. And to slide your protection away from that makes absolutely no sense to me. And again, if you come back to the sideline and go, hey, I blew it, but everybody on the sideline blew it, Josh, the offensive line, because there's no way that you didn't have that conversation. Look, I'm just telling you right now, if I'm in the huddle, I'm elbowing everybody. They're bringing heat. They are bringing heat, and you're having that conversation.
You are so spot on, Jeff, and that is my point. And it's not so much like, hey, you should have had something for this exact blitz.
No, right.
The idea that when it came, they were not prepared. And it wasn't like, okay, if something comes that I don't expect, here's where I'm going with the football right away.
That's a bad place to be when you don't have a shot on your last play. They didn't have a shot on that play. And Josh being a
wrong decision.
Made it a shot, but the play was busted from the beginning. I think Jeff's point is clear because there's 4 eligibles on one side and 4 defensive backs and linebackers on that side. Then the other side, there's 1 eligible, 1 defensive, and 2 defensive backs over there. So it shows you that they.
And I'm not even saying that, again, the decision had to be right.
Right.
He got them a chance with his physical prowess.
Absolutely.
He should have been able to give them a chance mentally because he expected if something comes that I don't expect, I'm going here with the football.
So what I like about this conversation is that most fans like me will just look at that play and say, oh, my God, Josh Allen almost pulled off the most incredible throw that you'll ever see in your life, and Kincaid has to catch the ball, and he didn't. That's what most people see. You guys are saying there's the game within the game within the game, and that's great. Now, Kmart, let's come to the Allen of it all. Because for those who don't know, you were a columnist for the Buffalo News before you came here to ESPN. So you know the culture there as well as anybody can. You've been around Josh from the moment he set foot in the NFL and all that kind of stuff. Like, I wanted to throw up for him at the end of that game on Sunday night. I know you shouldn't feel bad. I felt so bad.
For sure.
Like, watching his post-game press conference, I'm not a Bills fan, obviously. I mean, I'm a fan of a team in the same division. And I wanted to cry for him. Because it was so difficult to watch. Because you're talking about he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
So good.
So special. And each and every year, it's like with the 13 seconds, it's like his defense let him down. Coaching, like all
and drops last year too.
And so and for him to and for him to always get to the doorstep. And I really felt like this Bills team was different. Like he had elevated. Like he understood. Like okay. Stephon's out of here. Everybody's talking about we have no-name receivers. They don't know who's on offense. I can lead this team. And you felt like now, after watching this team and all the iterations of it, I felt like this Bills team was different. And they would get over that Mahomes hump. And to see it play out again, you're like, I did that.
That's right.
All these guys, Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar, like Jalen Hurts, whatever. Like you're not.
Last week suggesting that Mahomes has become the Michael Jordan of football. Oh, that's right. It was me. And so let's put up C13. Let's put up C13.
I, like Josh Allen, should have seen that coming.
What Michael Jordan did was he shut out Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, and Patrick Ewing, three otherwise all-time greats who never won a championship because they played in his era. Look at the games that he played against Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen this year. Ignore the Week 11 one. That's the one that doesn't matter in the long run.
Right.
He beats Lamar Jackson by an inch. He beats Joe Burrow by a point. He beats Josh Allen by a field goal. So the question is, when will one of these three guys dethrone the king? No one ever did it to Jordan. Once he started winning, he never stopped.
Let me say this, and because I appreciate this Mahomes conversation. Don't miss the fact that the Bills had an opportunity on defense to shut them down, right? And Mahomes, situationally, is the best player in our game.
That's what I mean.
That's the bottom line. And so until Josh Allen, to his point, figures out that 4th and 5 or the coaching staff tells.
This is going to create the villain story for these guys, right? Because, you can feel bad for Josh Allen all we want to, but the reality is he's 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And what I feel like when I broke down that play, it's less about like, oh, he did the wrong.
Hello, xin chào tất cả mọi người. Hôm nay mọi người cùng mình tô quả cà rốt nha. Không biết nữa. Ở ngoài đây thôi. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ dùng màu hồng để mình tô chú thỏ nhá mọi người. Mọi người cùng tô chú thỏ với mình nha. Mình sẽ dùng màu hồng để tô chú thỏ nha.